That is the question.
Awesome. Do we have any questions? It's a great time for some questions.
Okay, I have a question. So I was looking at, and I haven't looked at this in a while.
Mm-hmm.
So as you were talking, I was like, oh, let me just go in here and see what's going on real quick. Because I have two in Cash App. So it made sense what you were talking about with the gain. Because with Apple, it looks like I invested 10, and then I see on over to the right, it says gain $6.55.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes sense. My question is, so with the Beyond, it says my investment was 28
Mm-hmm.
and then the loss was 27. So then I
Okay.
scrolled down and it says this thing is really neat because then it tells you like analyst options, so like moderate sell. Right now it says moderate sell, hold and buy. So the question is, do I need to let this one go? Do I need to be like goodbye and go somewhere else?
Is that beyond?
Uh-huh.
I can't make recommendations. However, I highly recommend on following what you feel.
Choice.
I see what
Y-
you did there.
See what you
Yeah.
did there?
Hmm.
That was smooth. That was real good.
I'm picking up
Yeah.
what you
Be-
putting down.
Because
Mhm.
the thing about investing, it's just like every other thing. Like you'll know when something isn't right. And then you'll know when you're reacting out of fear. Like you'll know the difference because like you've lived with yourself. You know what I mean? Like you know those feelings internally. And you can always do your research too, because you'll know the companies that you're hearing about on a regular basis. For me, those are the companies that I go with. That's just me. I don't do too much like, well, I'll say actually with AI and ChatGPT, I kind of did dive into that space before I knew a whole lot about it. But for things that I'm not sure about and I haven't heard much about, I kind of go with what I think internally to make my decisions on investing.
One
I'm
of the
picking up
things
what
I
you're putting down
I
because one of the ones I heard you say quite a
mhm.
few times, you've mentioned Apple, you've mentioned Tesla, and you've mentioned Microsoft. So I was
Mhm.
like, let
Out
me
of
go over
Tesla.
here.
I was in Tesla. Or no, I'm not saying I'm out of Tesla for my day trades. I have long-term portfolio in Tesla. I'm kind of letting it ride out, but I do believe in the company. I think that's my biggest thing. So I will be holding that like long term. I am not necessarily putting any more in it. I'm kind of letting like what I have. That's another thing. So once I get to a certain number of shares, and it's different on different companies, I won't put any more in there. Like I'll let it grow because it will. It'll compound if it's a good company. If for whatever reason a company, I'm not putting my mouth on any company, if for whatever reason a company has like prime example, Apple. After Steve Jobs, Apple took a huge dip, but then it like went up. So it's like super crazy. So like I did end up taking some out of Apple just out of fear. But then like the more I studied it and like paid attention to the news, I also recommend like watch finance news stuff, like look online, watch stuff on the TV. They will talk about stuff and they'll kind of give you an insight on what is a good idea, what a good action is to take on a certain security, even as far as your even as far as how you react to the market.
Mhm.
Like the fear, that'll mess you up every time. But if you're sound in it, like I believe in this company, I have conviction in it, I know it's going down, but I believe it's going to go back up. Like you can go with that. And until something tells you otherwise, whether an advisor or someone you trust, I would hold tight to my conviction because you'll literally be jumping from stock to stock. You won't make any money if you keep pulling out of fear. At the same time, if you're continually putting in securities that are not doing well, not performing well, then that's a sign to you that you need to like slow down before you put any more money out. You need to do your research or talk to a professional. Because even though I recommend investing money that you could stand losing, if I can say that. Even though I do recommend that, we're not trying to lose money.
Mhm.
Like we worked hard for our dollars. So we're trying to grow them, yes, but we're not trying to blow money, trying to figure it out. And they have paper trading too now, or like you don't have to use your own money. You can use it's like a it's like a simulation of the actual stock market. So it's up to date and everything. And you'll make a trade as if it's your own money, but you don't lose money.